I want you to imagine something for a second. You are rushing around your house in the morning,
Oh, we all know that feeling.
right? You've got your shoes in one hand, your coffee in the other, and you are just stressed because you know you have a meeting in exactly 20 minutes.
Pure panic mode.
Exactly. So you do that frantic split-second dart of the eyes up to the wall to see exactly how late you are. But instead of seeing a blaring 8:45 staring back at you, just judging you, the numbers are entirely gone.
Completely blank.
Yeah, you just see a message that simply says, Jesus loves us.
It's a completely jarring disruption to your normal morning routine.
Totally.
You're expecting hard data, and instead you are handed this, philosophical statement.
Welcome to today's deep dive. We are looking at a really fascinating stack of source material today. It's a company manifesto and a product description for a very unique piece of home decor called the Jesus clock.
It really is unique.
And what we are exploring here is how a simple, frankly radical design change to an everyday object is attempting to completely reframe our relationship with time and with stress and with spirituality.
Okay, let's unpack this. Because taking the numbers off a clock and replacing them with a message of boundless love is a wild concept to try and implement in the real world.
It really is. It's the ultimate subversion of an object's primary purpose, right?
Yeah, I mean, a clock is literally just for numbers.
Exactly. The text describes this physical product quite specifically. It is a traditional wall clock complete with hour and minute hands, but the phrase Jesus loves us replaces the 12 numbers around the dial.
Wow.
And the creators are very explicit in the text about what this is. They don't just call it a piece of decor or like a novelty item.
Right, they take it much more seriously than that.
They do. They define it as a faith-based emblem. They state that the clock is meant to transform ordinary moments into spiritual reflections. Right, and that immediately forces us to ask about the actual mechanics of this. Because I was reading this and I kept thinking about it like taking the speedometer out of your car.
Oh, that's a great analogy.
You completely remove the numbers that tell you how fast you are going, and you just replace the whole dashboard dial with a sticker that says drive safe.
Which is a nice sentiment, but
But taking that analogy a step further, a car without a speedometer isn't just a philosophical statement, it's genuinely dangerous because you lose a critical measurement tool.
right.
So if the numbers are gone from this clock, does it still function as a timepiece, or does it cross the line into becoming pure symbolic art?
What's fascinating here is that tension between art and utility.
Yeah.
That's exactly where the creators are operating.
Okay, how so?
Well, to answer the functional question, the hands of the clock are still there. The clock still ticks. Time is still technically passing and being recorded.
So it is a real clock.
Yes. But the user's focus is forced to shift. The mechanism of the clock shifts your attention from the exact measurement of time right now to what the passing moment actually represents.
I see.
The creator's intent, as stated in the text, is to remind you that every moment is a testament to the boundless love that envelops us.
Wait, I have to stop you there because practically speaking, how am I getting the time?
Right.
If I'm rushing for that morning meeting we talked about and I look up at the wall and I get a message of boundless love, instead of knowing if it's 8:45 or 8:50, I am still going to be late.
You're still missing the train.
Exactly. If I end up missing my train, that's going to spike my cortisol, not give me a moment of serene joy.
Yeah.
A functional object that refuses to function seems like it would just create more anxiety.
That is a very valid critique of the design, and it requires us to look closer at how human beings actually read clocks.
Okay.
Because you don't necessarily need the printed number 9 to know it's 9 o'clock. You rely on spatial memory. You look at the angle of the hands.
Ah, I see. So you have to translate the geometry of the hands into the time yourself.
Exactly, and that translation takes an extra microsecond of cognitive processing.
Right, it's not instant anymore.
And that friction is the point.
Yeah.
You are looking for a measurement of efficiency, but because the numbers are gone, your brain experiences a micropause.
Oh, wow.
In that tiny gap of cognitive friction where you are translating the angle of the hands, the design forces you to absorb the visual message, Jesus loves us.
That's incredibly clever.
They are hijacking that split-second act of checking the time that we all do 100 times a day.
It's like a speed bump for your brain.
Yes, exactly.
You go in looking for a number to stress over, you hit this visual speed bump, and you are forced to process this larger philosophical idea. Which brings us to the psychological problem that this text is explicitly trying to solve.
Right, the bigger context.
The manifesto paints a very specific picture of the world we live in. They describe it as a world incessantly racing forward.
Which I think we can all